Emilio holding this thing together, man.
Here's the guy
at the seams here.
You like that response too? That's like when you're driving in the car and somebody's like, "Hey, you're missing the exit." Like, we ain't got time. We're making too good a time. We're not. We got to keep moving.
Yep.
All right. So Fractal of God said, "Doesn't the cake come from Halfley and then on the field adjustments made by X?" I just imagine Halfley sending a birthday cake out to the 50-yard line when I read that. Right? But what he's saying is, doesn't the call come from Halfley? Then the on-field adjustments are made by X. I don't think they're made by X. Typically, what you have is multiple people calling stuff out. Like, you can tell they've got their keys. If they do this or they shift to that or they break the huddle and they show a trips or a bunch set, you see everybody communicating the same thing. So it's not like there's one player going, "Hey guys, here's what we're doing." Everyone's talking though, letting each. Hey, you see it too, right? Yep. I think it's more along those lines than anything else.
I would agree.
Yeah, I thought he was going to drop the doesn't the cake come from Halfley and the sprinkles come from X? That would have been a nice little segue there.
That would have been really good.
But no, I love that he has all the trust in X, and the interchange ability of the Mike and Will is huge. Even if Quay does have the dot, we can still put edge in at Mike. We can still flip flop them. Quay can go cover, and that's just we don't have to pigeonhole them. Let them just play on the defense.
Yep.
Definitely. And Bates has a great comment here. He says, "Excited to see how Love is catching some of those 12 men on the field. Big brain awareness and the hard count. Little nod of appreciation to AR-12. It goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about and subbing in and out. Yep. If you're in 11 personnel and offense switches to 12, if someone's got their head up the rear end on the sideline and they're late getting on the field, or someone is winded, gassed, and that's why you see like quarterbacks will hurry to the line all of a sudden. They'll notice somebody getting up slow off the ground, and they'll quickly switch personnel when they go to 12, and that's the guy that needs to get up off the ground. All right, now he's trying to get to the sideline. Hey, let's go. Hurry. They'll go green light. Let's go. Snap it.
I love it. Did you hear Jordan on the – you could actually pick him up on the mic on the broadcast, and he was like, get set. Like the last thing he said, get set. We don't want to get a penalty, and of course.
And that means
we're going –
as soon as everybody's set, we're going on one.
We're going, yep.
And we're throwing this thing to the goalposts.
And Bates is correct, too. Like, you totally got that from AR-12 all day. And, it would be nice if these officials would just, call it correctly. I understand that there's a time that you blow it dead. I believe it's if there's contact, right, at the line of scrimmage. If there's not, Ron Tolbert. If it's not, it's supposed to be a free play. And we see not just the Packers, but a lot of teams and their quarterbacks pulling this move, and they're getting robbed of the free play. Exactly.
So the only thing I thought I heard Josh saying in his interview was he's got to snap it before they touch the dude. I'm pretty sure how he was saying it. So like he's got to get that snap off once they see him cross, or it's not unabated or whatever to the quarterback. But I think that's something he's just got to keep. I mean, at least we're getting the snap off, right? We're getting the flag. It's not so late that it's a false start on us kind of thing where they get back in time. But we just need it a little bit quicker, Josh.
And we got Aaron Rodgers to thank for the league, policing this play the way that it's now looked at, because Aaron used to just light teams up every single week with that. And it's just like the league was like, we got to do something.
It's literally a play in our play
rule a little,
Yeah. So, definitely. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us. I know the channel got the algorithm cooking right now. Y'all keep it up. We really, really appreciate you taking a second there and just hitting that like button, subbing to the channel, share it, all that good stuff. Share it with your weird uncle. It don't matter. Anybody you can find. All right. But Randy Cleaver's here in the Patreon group says, how long do you think we will go with Stokes? To me, it feels like Stokes' role is being diminished already. I think what you've got with Stokes is, I think you've got a solid number 3 corner. He's definitely not a starting corner, but a guy who understands the system. And if you get kind of put in a pinch, you feel okay with, all right, he needs to go out there and fill in. But it sounds like the direction they're going is Javon Bullard and Evan Williams on the field at the same time, with Bullard playing the slot and Keyshawn playing the outside position there. I'm excited about that. I think it's something that's really coming together. I think Keyshawn's playing a little bit better every week. We got, on Chalk Talk, we showed you the third down pass breakup by Keyshawn was absolutely huge. That specific play, he was in the slot, but I felt like he kind of held his own there along the boundary as well. So as far as Stokes, though, I think his role will probably stay the same or diminish even more as we get more and more comfortable with what Keyshawn can do on the outside and what Bullard can do out of the slot as well. So hopefully that answers your question there. Damon Redwine, newest member here of the Patreon group, said, compared to how Evan Williams has looked, are you worried about Bullard's play? And if not, how long do we give him before we start to worry? Personally, I've not really been all that impressed with Bullard so far. And I think it's only the bad play from Stokes and Valentine that has kept him on the field to this point. I think that's a fair point. I do. I mean, and he shared the PFF grades here. I'm pretty sure this is by the week here. Overall defensive grade, 46.1, 78.3, 52.5, 59, 45.2, 62. Last week, obviously a pretty good rebound day. You can see he's pretty darn good in run defense.
Yeah.
He did struggle, what was that, week 4 with his tackle grade of a 30.5. His strength is run defense. Now, you guys know Keyshawn playing the slot early this year made a big impact in the run fits, like in helping stop the run. So now you're kicking Keyshawn outside because you're not happy with the way Stokes is performing. So I feel like Bullard can fill that role just as good as Keyshawn as far as the run goes. But obviously his coverage is what's a little worrisome. But again, coverage grade 39.8, 73.3, 53.0, 53.7, 38.9. And then last week he rebounded to a 60.8. According to PFF, last week was his second best performance of the year. So maybe he can stabilize that. I would be lying to you, Damon, if I said, no, I'm impressed with Javon Bullard. Now, I don't think he's been as bad as some people would lead you to believe, but he's a rookie. The thing that's making him seem a lot worse than he is Evan Williams, because Evan Williams is playing so damn good. So
I think the most astonishing to me when I look at those PFF grades is the tackle grade, because I was hype about that bulldog mentality that we have. You know, we're no stranger to these Georgia defenders on this team. And I was like, well, if there's one thing this guy can do, it's tackle. And if it's another thing that he's known for, it's that, you know, the run fit and helping us out from the back end of the secondary in these run fits. And it's like, man, his tackle grade is just plummeted every single week. And, you know, you can call it what you want. I mean, Evan Williams being a dog is got nothing to do with why Javon Bullard's not executing on tackles like he was when he started this season. So I do think it's fair to say that, hey, I'm not excited or I'm not impressed, but you're absolutely right, Clayton, to say that he's bad or, you know, this is a disappointment it's unfair. It's, you know, we're 6 games in, right? You know, rookie season. His role on this team is probably still kind of up in the air, and they're still kind of figuring out how to utilize him the best. Mm-hmm. And we got to give him time to play through these type of things. You know, the Evan Williamses of the world do not grow on trees. Guys that just come into the league and they're monsters right away. It's awesome when you get them, but you know, we can't expect that of every single rookie on this team.
Which, by the way, I heard earlier today, I think it was on the Homer Hour earlier, that Evan Williams has a brother in the league. Have you guys heard that?
I did not know that.
I didn't either. Maybe they were drunk. I don't know.
Are we going to go look up every dude with the last name Williams in the NFL and try and find out which one is Evan's brother?
I'm going to say Evan Williams' brother. Here we go. Check it out. You ready?
Here's the guy.
Safety Bennett Williams. Williams is the brother of Oregon and NFL safety Bennett Williams. So Bennett Williams, let's Google him real quick. Fire up the old Google machine. So Bennett Williams, it looks like, currently plays for is an American professional football safety for the Ottawa Red Blacks of the Canadian Football League. So he is in the Canadian League right now.
CFL.
There you go. Got it. So I thought I heard something about it earlier. I'm like, really? I didn't know he had a brother playing football too. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, as far as the overall grade though for Javon Bullard, currently he's sitting at a 53.5 defensive grade at the moment. What you want to see is that crack the 60 mark. If a rookie cracks a 60 mark, you feel real good about, all right, that's a good base for a rookie year. So we'll see how the rest of the year shakes out there. Trevor Anderson in the Patreon group says, hey, Clayton, to me, the touchdown pass to Romeo up the right side where J Love chucked it up is the same decision as he made the week before on his last touchdown in the end zone where Wicks gave up on the route. People can't be mad about one and happy with the other. I believe throwing both were the right decision, and if the wide receiver plays for the ball most of the time, worst case scenario, will be an incomplete pass. What are your thoughts? Do you agree the same decision-making went into Love throwing both of those balls? I think that's a very fair comparison. And you guys know originally I thought I didn't have a big problem with him throwing it up to Wicks the week before because you knew it was single coverage, just chuck it up there, give you guys a shot. The problem was he led him to the inside. And again, the reason he led him to the inside was because he was having to fade to his left because of the pressure. But you got to know as a quarterback, if you're going to take that shot play because they're in zero coverage, you got to be ready for that. Ball's got to come out a little bit quicker because you know there's a free runner somewhere. I don't really have an issue with either of them, to be honest with you. Now, if they're in any other coverage other than cover zero there, yes, I have a huge problem with it. You don't just chuck it up like that. But I understand where you're coming from there, Trevor. I think I agree with you there, man. It's easy, especially in the heat of the moment, too, when you throw an interception. When the result is an interception, you're going, why did you do that? When it's a touchdown, we're going, boy, look at that. Funny.
Look at the one to Jaden Reed. The bomb to Jaden Reed into triple coverage.
Yeah.
And LaFleur's like, no, yes. Like, what are you going to do?
It's funny you mentioned that, too. Since you brought it up, we're going to go to the film room here real quick, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see. It's acting weird when I've been sharing the screen here. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully it'll clear up. This was a 14-yard. It was 4th and 1, and this is the 14-yard pass to Christian Watson. This felt like Brett Favre right here, boys. I'm just telling you. So you'll see it'll clear up here in a second. Watch Love go over the middle. It's going to be a dig, I believe it is, by Christian. Look at all those triple coverage, bro. Look at the box cam. Look at the end zone cam right here, Emilio. This is wild, dude. If we can get it to play, let's see. Let's go end zone. Do we have it? There we go. No. Oh, that was the end zone cam. What am I talking about? Here's the sideline cam. So you see Christian on the outside on this dig. Look at all the bodies, man. On 4th down. Wild.
Layered it. Over 2 defenders.
Yeah, look at the touch though on that throw, man.
That's one where you're playing Madden and you press the wrong button, but it like still works out for you, and you're like, all right, yeah, that worked.
Of course, I did that.
You just kind of tapped it. You get a little floater in there right where you need it.
I meant to hit X.
Let's nerd out here for a minute and go 50%. All right.
Watch Scoot on the route too. He adds the slightest little drag at the end. Watch his feet, like he's going to clear, and then he kind of gives him. Oh, you can't see it from that angle, but he kind of gave him a little time for that ball to drop in. That's all timing. I mean, you miss by a split second or a quarter inch, and that ball's tipped or picked.
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to mention that because we were talking about the Tay Wicks throw into double coverage or I'm sorry, not double coverage, just the chuck and duck play there. But this one came to mind immediately. And it's just you'll be able to see what you were talking about right here.
Yeah,
Tim.
You'll see Scoot here, like he's
kind of lags it off. Yeah.
See a little stutter step there, just to kind of like stay in time with what the defense is doing. I mean, that's chemistry between your quarterback and your receiver right there. I don't care what anybody says. That's evident on film. You can see it.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Brett, man. And again, the more that we see Jordan play, that's what it feels like. And for those of you listening that can't see this, they're in an empty set. They flex the tee out, so you're basically Trey Wright. And when I say Trey Wright, I think the slot on that side might be Jacobs. I'm pretty sure, or maybe the running back's up top, right? Yeah, so he's playing boundary there. But yeah, just a really cool play. And again, Jordan Love just kind of feathering the ball in there, and he's a lot of fun to watch, man. And I guess I've just reached an age where I get it now. The people that love watching Brett play in the 90s, and they're like, man, it's just so exciting. Even when he throws a pick, like you don't know what he's going to do, right? Jordan's got a little bit of that in him. Not as much as Brett as far as playing crazy reckless.
Right.
But you're going to get 2 or 3 wow plays every single week when it comes to Jordan. No doubt about it.
Just here to tell you, pack is back.
I love it. All right.
Sorry, I should let her finish.
Heard it from a fan right here.
There it is.
All right, didn't mean to cut you off.
So safeties across the NFL. All right, here are your PFF grades for all safeties across the NFL. I think we did a minimum of 70 snaps, if I remember correctly. So Evan Williams is the highest graded safety in the entire National Football League right now. 91. Xavier McKinney is the second highest graded safety in the league at a 90.5.
Here's the guy.
Bro, like this is somewhere Joe Barry is so pissed off right now. Think about this. Last year, Darnell Savage and Jonathan Owens. And now all of a sudden you got the top highest graded safety. Emilio, how exciting is this, dude? Like this fires me up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that it's not just, a tiny sample size. Obviously, Bullard's not up there, but you can't have everybody up there. So let's take what we have. He's got 150 snaps. You have Elijah Hicks in Chicago, 13th with 71 snaps. He's still on the list. So it's not a little sample, and he's proven it. And the fact that X is up there with almost 400 snaps, leading the league, I think, in snaps, leading the safeties in snaps that are at least on this list. I mean, that's big. We got consistent dudes that are playing at a high level. What I would like to see is this carry on for, another 10, 12, 15 weeks.
Yes.
We just can't peak now. That's the only thing.
Yeah, definitely. Linebackers, Tim, check this out, man. So again, we did some minimum requirements to kind of filter out some of the guys that had 12 snaps, 15 snaps, what have you. But as it sits right now, when it comes to linebackers in Green Bay, Eric Wilson is the 8th highest graded linebacker in the entire National Football League at a 79.7, 74 snaps. You got to mention that. Edgerrin Cooper now up to 125 snaps. Edgerrin Cooper is the 12th highest graded linebacker in the league at a 78.2.
Here's the guy.
You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Quay ever graded this high, right? Now he led the team in tackles. I think he tied or broke A.J. Hawk's rookie tackle record, which is it's a very honorable statistic. It is, man. It's important. But Edgerrin Cooper, man, I think we got our mock, man. I think we got our mock for the next 10 years here, Tim.
I would agree, especially with what we have on tape already. I mean, you certainly got the guy that you're going to mold into that role, right? I would think at the very least that's how they're looking at this. And Cooper looks like the type of dude that's just going to get better as he ages, like he's going to age like a fine wine, he's just going to get better and better the more reps he gets and the more experience he has in this league. And you can kind of see it trial by fire for a lot of these rookies getting premier snaps and reps. And, Evan Williams coming to mind. And also, Edgerrin Cooper now, as of late, these last, 3 weeks, we've seen his snap counts go up at least, 5 to 10 to 12 reps per game. And I would assume that's going to end up with, him just taking on a starting role at some point. And then if that is your plan for him to be the Mike of the future, I think the sooner we can get him out there and comfortable in that role, the better. So he can go ahead and own that basically and continue to thrive.
Yeah, definitely. Chris in the chat says, Clayton, are you concerned about Cooper's slot frame at mock? Not at all. Not at all. Because you see how physical he plays the game. Like I don't think he's going to have an issue at all. And if anything, he's going to beef up the longer he's in the league. They're going to put a little bit of weight on him if they see it necessary. But the reality of the mock backer in the league right now, the ideal spot, the ideal guy is kind of like that Fred Warner. Fred Warner isn't a thick dude. Fred Warner isn't. He damn sure ain't LaVon Kirkland from 1996, right? Like this dude is. These guys are a lot leaner, and they're a little more focused on pass coverage. Although Fred Warner can do everything, I'm not concerned about his frame at all, man. Because isn't he like 6'2", 6'3" as well? Am I thinking right, guys?
Cooper, I believe so.
Let me see. Let me pull up his actual height and weight real quick.
I mean, it's a valid question, though. I get where Chris is coming from. I mean, I think that's really like anybody, any position group, really in the NFL. If they seem a little lean, you worry about them. Initiating contact or taking contact. It can be a concern. But I just think the sheer athletic ability that Cooper has, and also you combine that with his football intelligence and the ability to learn and pick things up very quickly. That play we did in Chalk Talk where he broke off into that Tampa 2, trailing a receiver down the field, basically sealing a play for us. I don't know. I mean, you do teach that, but some guys just have a natural ability for it. And I think those are the type of skills and things that are going to carry him through maybe being a little bit leaner than, your typical middle linebacker.
Yeah, and he is 6'2", 230 pounds. So
yeah, that qualifies.
Yeah, I don't see that being an issue at all. If he was under 220, I could see the point, And again, I think they may thicken him up a little bit more too, get him a couple cheese curds for sure.
Thick.
Quay's in at 6'4", 241 on PFF.
Okay.
Yeah. And who was it that mentioned it in here? Coach Lynn says Cooper played Mike a few times last game. He did, man. You can see it's so interchangeable with them Jeff Hafley's defense, especially depending on how the team may or may not flex and motion and all that stuff. So I'm excited about Coop, man. And again, Eric Wilson has limited snaps, but it's nice to know Eric Wilson sitting there on the bench if you need him to play there in a pinch. I don't mean to rhyme. I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But Edgerrin Cooper, 78.2, run defense grade 69.6, tackle grade 69.1, pass rush grades 90.3, coverage grade 72.6. I'm just going to say it. You know what it reminds me of, boys? A young Micah Parsons. I'm just saying. Not trying to overreact, but I'm going to sit here and overreact. That's exactly what Micah did when he broke into the league. They played him as a stack backer, started rushing the quarterback, and then they realized, why don't we just throw him on the edge? I think they screwed up by doing that person. That Dallas defense is poopy now. By the way, did you guys hear Jerry Jones on the radio show?
No, I didn't. I need to listen to that pod. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow.
Get a chance, go check it out. He basically, this local radio station interviews him every week. And
they're great. They really are great.
They were. I'm telling you, it's must see TV. But they asked him some tough questions, and basically Jerry, I'm paraphrasing very heavily. Go listen to it yourself. But essentially, what Jerry told him: if you're not going to ask the questions I want you to ask, then you're not going to be here. And they laughed, and he said, "I ain't joking." So
Jerry World, man. If you didn't know, you know now.
Yeah,
it's Jerry World down there, man. It don't matter.
You know what?
Facility, local radio, down at the gas station, whatever.
If you look at the paperwork of my house, it's got my name on it. I say what I want in this house. That's what Jerry does down there too. That's how that works. So next on the list, PFF grades. Jaden Reed is currently sitting in the number 18 spot.
Here's the guy.
Jaden Reed is a guy. 18th highest graded receiver in the entire National Football League. This is your number one wide receiver. All right. 77.7, got a receiving grade of 75.9. And here's what's crazy. Even with that high of a grade, his drop grade is 46.4. And people in his he had that fumble this last game, right? So 43 there. Even with that high of a grade, there's still room for improvement. That's just unbelievable. Emilio, how do you feel about Jaden Reed, dude? This dude, obviously he's our F. If they start to key in on him as the F, and you've seen it this last game, it really opens stuff up for Christian Watson. We kind of showed how they were kind of hammering down, even in those cover 3 looks. They were kind of cheating. Remember the play that we broke down where we said, is that a cover 3? Is it cover 1? Is it cover 0? What is this play? What you had was the deep third on the other side, slamming down, right? Trying to take away Jaden. And that's what opens things up for Christian. Now, Christian's on tape. Guess what's going to happen? Open stuff up for Jaden. But what do you think about Jaden Reed there? 18th best receiver in the league, according to PFF.
Yeah, I mean, if we can keep running that teeter-totter all the way down the season, I'm fine with it. You got one game where you're pushing downfield. You got the next game you're working underneath. You got Jaden Reed on runs. Let's get him outside. Let's use Christian this week. Let's use Romeo. I think having a guy in the top 20 is huge. It kind of, staples the offense of, okay, these guys kind of know what they're doing. And good thing for Jordan Love. Isn't he tied for most touchdowns right now as well or something? He's up there. So everything's humming, and it shows when you have people up there in the top like that. But I know we don't want to give the number one receiver. I still don't think we should, but I like how Reed carries himself. You listen to his interview. He talks like, he's a veteran. He talks like he's been there before, and he just wants to do what's best for the team, just like Christian, just like Rome, just like Bo, everybody out there. just work. You'll get the ball, and just keep bringing those wins home.
Yeah. Here's a play that made Chalk Talk the other day. Brian Baldinger actually broke it down. So let's hear Baldy's version, a 1-minute clip of Chalk Talk for his breakdown of the touchdown pass to Jaden Reed. I'm pretty sure it's pretty cool to hear Brian Baldinger break this down. Here we go.
This is the issue for the Arizona Cardinals right now. When they rush 4, they don't get home. So guys like Jordan Love, who's excellent, he's very patient, comfortable in the pocket. He can wait for Jaden Reed to cross all the way over the formation, throw a perfect pass against pretty good coverage, not bad coverage. All right, you get a play like this play action pass. I mean, honestly, if Jordan Love has Snapchat, he has time to check his Snapchat here. Like, there's nobody getting close. Like, this is an eternity to be able to stand there this long and be able to then make this read.
By the way, I don't mean to interrupt here, Baldy. I apologize. But look at Sean Ryan at right guard. That is Sean Ryan, right?
Yeah, at right guard.
Watch him right here. So this is when Josh Myers was still in the game before he had to kick over to left guard when Josh Myers left.
Honestly, if Jordan Love has Snapchat, he has time to check his Snapchat here. Like, there's nobody getting close. Like, this is an eternity to be able to stand there this long and be able to then make this read. Like, it's impossible to cover that long. So then Nick Rales has this decision to make. Well, if I just rush 4 or if I rush 3, Jordan Love's just going to stand there and wait till somebody breaks free. So now I'll bring Mac Wilson. All right, now you gut punch him here with this screen. It's damn if you do, and damn if you
look out here on the perimeter. Notice anything?
Him here with this screen. It's damn
get Jaden Reed out there throwing that block.
Yep.
If you do, and damn if you don't. And Wilson.
And, of course, Josh Myers. I got to point it out. Watch Josh Myers on this. I got to mute him for a minute. Oh, watch Josh. Look at that big guy. Look how he's moving. Like, oh, he's going to kill somebody. Watch this. Nah. What are we doing? You did the hard part, Josh. You kill the hard part every time. I just don't. Anyway, back to Baldy. I apologize.
That's the problem right now in Arizona. Green Bay has all the answers when you give Jordan Love time.
Very well said, Baldy. Very well said. So I thought it was cool. He showed that nice little feather drag over to Jaden Reed. And got a lot to look forward to when it comes to the Packers, man.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Now, we talked about the protection just now on that specific play where Baldy was breaking down, right? Check this out. We go to offensive tackles across the entire National Football League. Now, I did not filter out the small snaps, so just take Trent Scott there on the 8 snaps, I think it is. You take him out of the fold. Doesn't even matter. Zach Tom's still ahead of him. Zach Tom is the 9th highest graded tackle in the entire league at an 84.7. Run blocking grade, 86.3. Pass blocking grade, 81.6. Listen, everything that Baldy talked about there, and we're going to get into breaking down the Texans as we get a little later in the week, but everything you talk about him given time, the Houston Texans have a much better pass rush. Will Anderson, and do they have Daniil Hunter? Am I thinking right, Emilio? Yeah. So you got 2 of the better edge rushers in the league, but we've got Rasheed Walker and we got Zach Tom, right? You feel pretty good about them being able to hold up in that matchup. And if you need to give Sheed a little bit of help, you can do that with some chipping and things like that. But Zach Tom here, 9th highest graded tackle in the league, is just wild, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and like you said, we need to anchor the 2 corners of that wall that we're building in front of Jay Love. We'll get the tackles settled. We got Zach Tom holding it down. If you take him out of 400 snaps, he's the top 3 in the league. You know what I mean? So he's been consistent over an extended period of time. And Josh, yeah, we'll work on it. If he can get the snap off quicker and we can get some free plays, I'd be fine with what he put out last week, right? It's working. It's not anything that we need to go and sign a center. You know, it's nothing like that. And it worked fine when he left. So I really am happy with where they're at and that they are all, interchangeable. And we can just keep moving forward even when we hit a speed bump.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, Zach Tom about to get paid, man.
Yeah, get the Brinks truck, gas it up, park it in his driveway. He deserves every cent.
He really does, man.
And he you can't forget the guy can play anywhere on that line. So you've got, a starting right tackle who in a pinch can be your, second to third or fourth option at any other position, depending on how the season shapes out. So the versatility can't be overlooked. We talk about that play that we had in Chalk Talk, and that ball he just broke down, that first tutter to Jaden Reed. And we, for what we saw from Sean Ryan, which was great blocking at the right guard position, we also saw Zach Tom temporarily leave his assignment, give a little chip help to Sean Ryan. Once Sean Ryan had it back under control, Zach Tom resumed blocking the other guy he was blocking. I mean, it's just, the guy's a freak of nature. You know, he makes everybody around him better, and that's the type of guy you want on your O-line for sure.
Yeah. And you've heard us talking for a few weeks now how Sean Ryan seems to be kind of cutting the corner. It's like, man, he plays, it seems like he'll have, you know, a game or two where he plays really well, and he'll have a setback, and then a game or two that he plays really well. And in the past, it was 5 bad games, 1 good game, right? So you could really see him cutting the corner. Check this out. Sorting every offensive guard in the league, minimum of 100 snaps, Sean Ryan is ranked 30th in the league right now. So he is officially considered a number 1 guard. Now, I want to mention Elton Jenkins is 46th. All right, Elton Jenkins is a 62.9. Now, I'm not saying Sean Ryan's a better offensive lineman than Elton Jenkins. According to PFF, Sean Ryan is playing better football than Elton Jenkins this year. Again, you're not going to get me to bet the farm that Sean Ryan's a better old lineman than Elton. But, man, Sean Ryan's making a case for might want to put Jordan Morgan somewhere else, but we're playing some pretty damn good football over here at right guard. It's exciting. And the fact that they kicked Sean Ryan to left guard when they had to bring Jordan Morgan in at right guard tells me they trust Sean Ryan more than they trust Jordan Morgan, because Jordan Morgan played left tackle his entire football life.
Yeah.
High school, college, everything. That really, sometimes it's not so much what we see on the field or what the grades show as it is what the coaches are doing, putting these guys in a position. See Corey Ballantyne.
Yep.
Played good last year. Halfley don't want him on the field. That trumps anything I think I may or may not have seen last year on the tape, right? Coaches know a lot more than us, obviously. But Sean Ryan, man, you got to give credit. And earlier in the year, you remember Coach LaFleur called him out over his conditioning.
Yep.
And then they asked Matt about it. Matt said, hey, one thing I love about Sean, you correct him. He goes and corrects it. He fixes it. He doesn't take anything personal. Pretty cool, man.
He didn't get butthurt over it. I mean, it's a game, you know, you need to get corrected. All right, I'm corrected. Cool. But you're right. He said that in his interview. I want to be able to be flexible or be the best at any position I play, and whether that be good left guard, right guard, or center. And, yeah, have the trust in him to be able to flip his hips. Have Jordan Morgan, who hasn't gotten a lot of reps, who missed a lot of time, who's still injured. All he did through the offseason was play right guard. You know what I mean? So it's let him just keep doing that and get good at one thing before we try to flip them all around.
I agree. And if you're going to try and get someone to play left or right side, whatever, at the guard position, it probably should be Sean Ryan, the guy who's been here a few years already, not our rookie guy who played tackle at Arizona for his collegiate career. Yep. And, you know, by the way, now you're a guard in the NFL, and, you know, go do it right. It's like we got to be patient when it comes to that, right? And
Sean's our swing guard.
I think so. I'm a little less impressed with him on the left side compared to how he's been playing at the right side. But hey, going up against D'Amico Ryan's defense this weekend, if he is in fact at left guard, you know, let's say Elton Jenkins has to play center or something, you know, it'll be a good test to see if he can really handle it there, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I screwed the pooch there in hour 1. So Emilio, if you got to go, you just hop off.
You're good. No, I was making sure you were squared.
Yeah. No, I know we're going to go a few minutes. So I'm probably going to go hour 30 here tonight. We got a couple more things I want to show. So if you guys got to go, just bounce off. So we were kind of talking offensive line play there at the end. We mentioned Josh Jacobs earlier today. I think we broke down this play. I think this is the 14-yarder. It might be the stretch play. I could be wrong. But here's Brian Baldinger breaking down this play out of the pistol. Remember, we kept mentioning pistol all offseason. He says, out of the pistol formation, Josh Jacobs runs to the fewer numbers, smart football, and his contact balance is second to none. All right, so here we go. Brian Baldinger breaking it down. And I want to point out on this play here, if you'll see, that's Jordan Morgan playing right guard on this play. All right, so this was some of the rotational snaps we talked about. So you got Elton at left guard, Josh Myers at center, and Jordan Morgan. Now, Jordan Morgan has not been grading out well at all, according to PFF. Let's watch him on this specific clip here as Baldy.
They walk him on this one.
Let's see it.
Let's learn something about the run game. The Packers are in a pistol formation with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Why? Well, it bounces up the defense because they can go equally to the right where there's 4 defenders or equally to the left where there's only 3 defenders. And this player right here is a tight end. So run to the fewer numbers. It's just that simple. So you get a great double right here.
What do we call that? Hat count, right?
Hat count, and the pistol gives you the 2-way go. That's so huge.
We call that thug life.
Morgan and Zach Tom. All right, going to lift this defensive tackle right into the lap of Mac Wilson. All right, now watch Josh Jacobs do the rest.
Yep.
I mean, Josh Jacobs right here runs through this. Here comes both safeties, Buda Baker and Jalen Thompson. They're really good players. He runs through right through the both of them. I mean, that's called contact balance. He picks them up and he puts them down. And it takes defensive linemen in pursuit to actually tackle him. Josh Jacobs is a hell of a player. But the pistol formation bounces the Cardinals up. You run to the numbers, the fewer numbers. Smart play.
Oh, I love it, dude.
But Clayton, can you run that back one time?
Yeah, man.
You see, you got to say it, man. Josh Myers blocked the guy into Josh Jacobs.
Oh, for real.
So look at the sheer ability.
Damn it, Tim, why do you got to do this?
You talk about how great Josh Jacobs is. I mean, the guy blocking for him blocked the defender into him, and Jacobs like brushed it off like a swatting at a fly. It was pretty cool. Watch 71 on this play. He blocked really well for 90% of this play, and then he just got turned around.
Yeah, so he gets to the backer. Not great hands
And
there.
look where he turns him inside. Look, here you go, Josh.
Yeah, lucky he didn't get called for blocking the back, too.
Yeah, exactly. But
to be honest with you. And again, this play was that 26 stretch, wasn't it, Emilio? Am I thinking right?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is 26 stretch. So, again, the numbers are even to the right. So if they were running in the A gap, it'd be a 2. First of all, the first number is the halfback, so that's 2. So if you were going to A gap, it'd be 22, B gap 24, C gap 26. They're going C gap as the aiming point, and he cuts back to the B gap. So this was 26 stretch, which is outside zone, and he's going to use the cutback because that backer gets too aggressive there on the outside. We won't play it with the audio this time, but we'll just kind of roll it up as we.
And what's nice about the pistol is it still gives Jay Love a chance to flip the play. I mean, one call, that thing's flipped, and we're going to the other side with numbers. It could have been a stretch left, and he flipped it last second, you know?
Could have been, yeah. That's a good eye there, though, Tim, what you said about Josh, man. I hate to pick on him, but that's just – it's bad, man. It's bad. And, again, Jacob's still getting the yards after contact. It's just wild, man.
That's where you said Romeo's just like, oh, man, you're still up? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Romeo, that's – you know what that looked like is the old rodeo days, going to a rodeo and seeing somebody get hung up in the stall with the bull. He's in there like, what in the hell how did I end up in here? Not a good look, bro. Not a good look. Dennis Shook with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Says, can you guys create an all-Packer, all-star offensive line by position from 1990 to the present? Best we've had at each spot. Boy, that'd be fun. We don't have time to do it tonight.
I got my first entry. Brian Balaga.
Hey, let's do it rapid fire. Seriously, rapid fire. Rapid fire. Can you do it, Emilio? Do you think you can handle it too?
Emilio wasn't even alive in 1990.
I'll try.
I'm gonna take the first pick. Okay. Well, actually, Tim, you go first. Okay. Well, no. Since Emilio wasn't born until 2006, Emilio, you go first. Okay. What your favorite offensive lineman since you've been a Packer fan?
I'd have to go with Bach.
Bach. Okay, so you're going Bach left tackle.
Bach.
Yeah, he can.
All right, so you're going Bach left tackle. All right, Tim, what's your choice?
So I got to pick are we going left to right on the line? Or
you don't have to go left or right. You could pick anything other than
spots.
Man, Frank Winters, center. Let's go. Frankie boy.
Frank Winters at center. There's some low-hanging fruit here. I want to go like Mark Tauscher at right tackle, but I'm going to go with a name you guys may not have heard of. All right. I'm going to go with Marco Rivera at right guard.
Here's the guy.
Bro, Marco Rivera in the early 2000s, a guy, I think he played in NFL Europe and then came over. Just an absolute stud. So I'm going Marco Rivera, right guard. All right, so what's left is left guard and right tackle. Emilio, you got another one, man?
Did Bulaga play left guard or right guard?
He played right tackle.
Oh, All right, we'll put him at right tackle. I'll put Balaga out there. I liked him playing.
All right, I got it. So the only thing left guard, Tim. You got anything? What you got there, man? Who was left guard in the 90s? Think about it.
Oh man,
it's tough.
I'm going.
I've got one if you want me to.
That is tough. See, that's what I'm saying. I barely remember the lines from 2010.
This was going to be mine.
I'm going to say TJ Lang. I like TJ Lang, but was he a right guard or a left guard?
That's a great. I think he rotated. I think there was time he's played both, but I think he was more of a left guard if I remember right. This was going to be my pick. Fred McFarley said Mike Wall.
There you go.
Oh, look at this one. Hold up a minute. Cheesehead Murph. Josh Sitton. Josh Sitton was
Sitton, Lang, and Balaga. Like, do we
just give us a rotation?
Yeah.
Are we going to go number 1s and 2s on a depth chart across? Because we could do
this. No, we got to wrap this thing up. Mandy's closer than she needs to be. When she gets here, the dogs are going to go crazy. And I know that because we got this app. I don't know if you guys have got it, Live 360, where you got like GPS on each other. It's showing her in a rocket ship right now doing 92 on the intercept. It's showing a rocket behind her car. Yeah, I think she must be watching the show. She went from 92 down to 80. She's watching the show. 78, 77.
Watching. Yeah, no, she's watching.
Now it's just a normal car. Caught you, girl. Caught you. So that's it. Left guard. Who did you go with, Tim? Did you come up with one? Who'd you decide on left guard?
I had said Lang, but we kind of figured he's a swing. But Mike Wall too. Mike played on. He was more right side, right?
Mike Wall was left guard.
He was left. Okay, so then we got to go with him. We got to go with Mike.
They would run that power right with him, and he was the lead blocker for Amon Green. Boy, you talking about leaving a damn crime scene behind him. Mike Wall would hit that B gap, and it was like, get out of my way. Another thing, too, I was watching the Brett Favre game when his dad passed away. I was watching it back the other day, and there was a play when he hit Javon Walker for the jump ball in like double or triple coverage. You guys remember that play? Go back and watch it. They ran a sprint right play, and Mike Wall sprinted at the snap all the way across and became like a personal protector of Brett. It was the coolest thing ever. Like, I don't even know how he got that far over. Go back and watch that play. You'll know what I'm talking about. So there you go. That's it. Hopefully that answered your question there. Who was it again? Was it Dennis? Great question, Dennis. I like that type of stuff too, man. I really do.
I like how we just freestyled it right off the
that's
dome.
The way awesome. Yeah. We'll do that again soon. I'll hit you guys one random. Like, all right, guys, since 1990, let's pick our corners. You know what I mean? That's fun.
Scott Wells, honorable mention.
Yeah. I was going to say Corey Lindsey.
And here,
another good one. Another guy who started off real shaky. We were really worried about Corey Lindsey for a while, and then dude just became a freaking stud. So salute to Corey for sure.
If you hear Mark Tauscher talk about Scott Wells, he got cut. You guys know Scott Wells got cut. Like they said he got cut, if I understood him correctly, and moved to the practice squad. And Tauscher was like, that dude was so pissed. And literally that year he won his job back. And obviously he anchors our offensive line when we win the Super Bowl in 2010. I got to meet him, got his autograph. Really cool dude. As we walked up to the table, I'm not even really paying attention. I walked up, it was him and Greg Jennings. Greg signed something, and I just happened to glance over, and me and Scott's got the same accent. You guys ever heard him talk? He's from Tennessee. I think he's from Nashville. And he said,
Wales, Tennessee.
He looked at me, he said, come over here, Smiley. That's what he called me, was Smiley. I was grinning. That was my first time going to Green Bay. So I was just like a possum in a dumpster, Jacob.
That is a possum in a dumpster.
That's exactly right. Anything else, fellas? Appreciate y'all letting us go over here, man.
No, this was great. Shout out to Dennis for that last super chat. That was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Emilio, you good, bub?
I'm good.
All right, man. Thank y'all for hanging out. This was fun, dude. So,
appreciate it.
Special shout out to United Bates for the super chat. And like I said, Dennis Shook for the super chat as well. You guys are awesome. Also, special shout out to Damon Redwine, the newest member of our Patreon group. If you want to join our Patreon group, you can scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, or just search all that on the Patreon website. If you're one of 3 tiers, you'll be entered into the contest where we're going to do giveaways throughout the year. And also, we got some really cool chats set up there. We got chats for questions for the show. We got Chalk Talk questions where you can ask questions in there about Chalk Talk segments. We also just got a general chat where everybody just gets in there and kind of chops it up. We got for our fantasy league, we got a group or a section in there where you can talk about fantasy football, stuff like that. It's growing. It's first year we've done it. It's absolutely wild. We're about to crack 100 people that are members already. It's a really cool growing community. So I'm excited to do even more with that here in the near future. And who knows, man, maybe we can do like Patreon watch parties. We can do Patreon meet and greet, stuff like that. Like for the draft, I think that would be awesome. Anybody who's a member in the Patreon group, you'll be invited to a special meetup somewhere. My problem is, man, I love everybody who watches the show, so it'd be hard for me to cut anyone out. I'd probably be like, yeah, everybody.
We'll end up with 200 people at our gathering.
Everybody show up. Honorable mention. Come on in. Let's have a good time. So it's going to be good, man. I'm excited about the draft. So with that being said, help me out here, Tim.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us a part of your day. Don't be like this guy, all right? Don't be that guy, okay?
Stay off the damn weed.
Don't stay off the weed. This guy is going to show up at your house. All right. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack.